Let's dive in beneath the waves, where sunlight dances through the water and the world feels mysterious and alive. Here, among the rocks and swaying seaweed, we meet our main character, the adult sea star, a true marvel of the ocean. Sea stars, often called starfish, might sound like fish, but they're not fish at all. In fact, they're something entirely different. They belong to a group called echinoderms, making them close cousins to sea urchins and sand dollars. All echinoderms share a tough spiny skin and a unique way of moving. Imagine a creature with 5 arms stretching out from a central body, moving slowly but gracefully across the ocean floor. Their colors can be dazzling, bright oranges, deep purples, and even patterns that look like underwater art. But sea stars aren't just one shape or size. There are over 2,000 species, each with its own unique look. Some are tiny, barely the size of a coin, while others can grow as large as a dinner plate. Some sea stars are so brightly colored that they stand out like jewels on the rocks, with vivid oranges and purples that catch your eye. Others are masters of disguise, blending perfectly with the sand or rocks to hide from predators and sneak up on prey. Take a closer look at their underside, and you'll see hundreds of tiny tube feet. These aren't just for show, they're powerful tools. With these tube feet, sea stars can crawl across the ocean floor, cling to rocks, and even pry open the tough shells of their prey. Sea stars might seem slow and peaceful, but don't be fooled. They're actually skilled hunters, always on the lookout for their next meal. Using their strong arms and sticky tube feet, they can crack open clams and other shellfish, feasting on the soft insides. But perhaps the most amazing thing about sea stars is their ability to regenerate. If a sea star loses an arm to a hungry predator or an accident, it's not the end. Lose an arm? No problem. The sea star simply begins to grow a new one, cell by cell, until it's as good as new. This incredible power means sea stars can survive injuries that would be impossible for most other animals. Now, our adult sea star is ready for the next big step in its life. It's time to ensure the survival of its species. As the sea star prepares to spawn, releasing thousands of tiny eggs into the water, a new adventure begins, one that will shape the next generation of these fascinating ocean wonders. When sea stars want to make babies, they don't date or buy flowers. There's no romantic dinner or fancy courtship rituals. Instead, their approach to reproduction is a little more mysterious and a lot more spectacular. Instead, they gather together, usually at night or early morning, for a special event called broadcast spawning. This is when sea stars from all around the area come together in groups, drawn by invisible signals in the water and the pull of the tides. The ocean becomes their giant dance floor, glimmering under the moonlight. The silvery glow from above sets the stage for one of nature's most fascinating spectacles as the sea stars prepare for their big moment. Both male and female sea stars get ready at the same time. Their bodies sense the perfect conditions. Maybe it's the temperature, the phase of the moon, or even chemical cues in the water. They line up close to each other, often forming little clusters. These gatherings can include just a few individuals or sometimes dozens, all packed together on rocks or sandy patches. The males release clouds of sperm into the water, sending out wispy white trails that drift with the current. It's a dramatic sight, as the water around them suddenly fills with swirling clouds, while the females let loose a flurry of eggs, tiny and almost invisible, but absolutely vital. Each female can release thousands, sometimes even millions, of eggs in a single spawning event. It's like confetti at a sea star party. The water becomes alive with color and movement as eggs and sperm mix and swirl, creating a mesmerizing underwater display. The whole process depends on perfect timing. If just one sea star goes early or late, the chances of fertilization drop dramatically. If the moment is right, everyone releases their gametes together. This synchronized spawning increases the odds that eggs and sperm will meet and helps protect the eggs from hungry predators by overwhelming them with sheer numbers. Think of it as synchronized swimming, but with more eggs and sperm floating around. It's a coordinated effort, choreographed by nature itself. There's no touching or holding hands, just a lot of trust in the current. The ocean's gentle movement carries the eggs and sperm, mixing them together in the hopes that new life will begin. This magical moment doesn't last long. After the spawning, the sea stars slowly drift apart, returning to their solitary lives on the ocean floor. Soon, the water is filled with thousands, even millions, of tiny eggs and sperm, all hoping to meet and create the next generation of ocean superstars. It's a fleeting, beautiful event, one that ensures the survival of sea stars for years to come. Now, the real race begins. Egg meets sperm. Imagine millions of tiny sperm, each one propelled by a whip-like tail, all racing through the water with a single goal, to find an egg. It's a microscopic marathon and only the fastest and luckiest will make it. In the vast, open ocean, this is truly a game of chance. The sperm must swim fast and find an egg before drifting away or being swept off by the currents. The ocean is huge, and the odds are stacked against them. But nature has a way of making even the most unlikely meetings possible. When one lucky sperm finally reaches an egg, something incredible happens. Fertilization. In that instant, two tiny cells merge, combining their genetic material to create a brand new life. It's the very first step in a long and fascinating journey. External fertilization might sound wild, but it's actually the norm for many sea creatures. There's no cozy nest or private spot here. Instead, the ocean itself becomes the nursery, and the swirling currents act as matchmakers, bringing eggs and sperm together in a swirling dance of life. It's a busy, bustling place, with millions of tiny lives just starting out. Each egg and sperm represents a chance for new life, and the water is thick with possibility. The fertilized egg is incredibly tiny, smaller than a grain of sand, almost invisible to the naked eye. But inside, amazing things are happening. The egg begins to divide and grow right away, starting the process that will eventually lead to a brand new sea star. If you could zoom in, you'd see the cells splitting and multiplying at a rapid pace. One cell becomes 2, then 4, then 8, and so on. It's like watching a tiny miracle unfold, as life takes its very first steps. This little ball of life is now on its way to becoming something truly amazing. With each division, it gets closer to becoming a recognizable sea star, ready to face the challenges of the ocean. Of course, not every egg is lucky. Many are eaten by hungry predators or swept away by strong currents before they have a chance to grow. The ocean can be a dangerous place for new life. But those that survive, their journey is just getting started. Against all odds, a few will make it, growing and changing as they drift through the sea, ready to begin the next chapter of their incredible story. 3 days after fertilization, the sea star embryo goes through a big change. It becomes something called a gastrula. This sounds fancy, but it just means the embryo is getting its first real shape. During this stage, the ball of cells starts to fold in and make a simple, tube-like body. If you could see it, you'd notice a small opening. This will become the mouth one day. It's a little weird, but in the sea star world, this is totally normal. The embryo floats in the water, spinning and drifting. It doesn't look like a sea star yet. Right now it's just a tiny blob with a big future, but inside, things are happening fast. Cells are moving, dividing, and getting ready for the next step. This is a fragile time. The embryo is tiny and easy to miss, but if it survives, it's ready to grow into something more familiar. Next stop, Brachyolaria. This is a big step for the young sea star. The gastrula keeps changing and soon grows into a larva called a Brachyolaria. Now it really starts to look interesting. The Brachyolaria has little arms, kind of like paddles, that help it swim. These aren't the arms you see on adult sea stars. Instead, they are soft and wavy, just perfect for floating and moving through the water. The larva is tiny, but already a champion swimmer. During this stage, the Brachyolaria eats tiny food particles called plankton. It needs lots of energy to keep growing. The ocean is full of tasty snacks if you're small enough to eat them. Life as a Brachyolaria is risky. There are plenty of hungry creatures looking for a snack. But if the larva is lucky and clever, it will keep growing and changing. After some time, the Brachyolaria reaches its advanced stage. It now has more developed arms and a special sticky structure called an adhesive disc. This is like a tiny suction cup on its body. With the adhesive disc, the advanced Brachyolaria is ready to settle down. It swims to the ocean floor, looking for a good spot to call home. When it finds one, it sticks itself down and starts to transform. This stage is a big deal. The Brachyolaria begins to change shape, losing its swimming arms, and growing the start of the classic sea star arms. It is no longer a drifter, it's about to become a bottom dweller. The transformation is almost complete. Soon, the young sea star will look just like its parents, only much, much smaller. Now, The young sea star is a juvenile. It looks like a tiny version of the adult, with 5 arms and a soft body. But life on the ocean floor is dangerous, especially when you're small and tasty. Juvenile sea stars must watch out for hungry predators like crabs, shrimp, and even fish. These creatures think baby sea stars are a delicious snack. The young sea star has to hide, squeeze into cracks, and move quickly to avoid becoming lunch. Growing up in the ocean is tough. Sometimes storms or strong currents can wash juveniles away from their hiding spots. But sea stars are tough. They can cling to rocks with their tube feet and wait until things calm down. If a juvenile sea star manages to survive all these dangers, it will keep growing, adding new arms and getting bigger and stronger every day. As the juvenile sea star grows, it starts to look more and more like the adults we met at the start. Its arms get longer and stronger, and its bright colors become clearer. The sea star is now ready to join the big leagues. Adult sea stars are top-notch survivors. They use their tube feet to move, hunt, and even climb over rocks. If they lose an arm, they can regrow it. This superpower helps them survive attacks and keep going. When sea stars are fully grown, they are ready to return to the spawning grounds. There, they will join other adults for the next broadcast spawning event. The circle of life continues, one generation giving way to the next. And so, the little egg from the start of our story has become an ocean superstar, ready to make new sea stars of its own. And now, as opera music swells in the background, let's take a bow for our ocean superstar. The life of a sea star is a tale of adventure, danger, and amazing changes. From tiny egg to proud adult, every stage is part of a grand performance. Sea stars keep the ocean healthy by eating clams and cleaning up the sea floor. They also remind us how amazing life can be, even for the smallest creatures. Next time you see a sea star, remember the wild journey it took to get there. Every year, sea stars join together in their underwater celebration, releasing eggs and sperm and starting the whole story over. The ocean is their stage, and the show never ends. So, give a round of applause for the humble sea star, tiny egg, brave juvenile, and, at last, an ocean superstar.